So for those of you who don't know, and believe me, there's a lot of Romanians that don't know this either, Romania is actually the biggest producer of gas in the European Union right now. And this comes at a time when many nations are looking to buy gas because of the conflict in Ukraine. They want to get gas from different places rather than Russia, and this obviously benefits my country. And so the production of gas is critical to the national security of my country, and it's also vital for the economy. And so it's incredibly unfortunate that there are people who want to destabilize this, environmentalist groups. And I'm saying it's unfortunate for them, not for my country, because here it's Eastern Europe. Like, these things can fly in Germany, they can fly in Britain, they can fly in France. In Eastern Europe, they don't fly because public opinion is 100% not on their side. Like, for example, in UK, you had a couple of years ago, a couple of BLM protesters that were in fact some upper middle class white twats with nothing better to do than to try and shut down an airport. So they went on the runway of the airport and they started protesting there. Planes had difficulty landing and taking off, so obviously they caused a little bit of havoc. See, in the UK, if the cops would have come in and muscled them a little bit, the public would have been outraged. They're like, oh my goodness, they're protesters. Oh, look how violent the cops are. Fascism, fascism. Meanwhile, if the same people would try a joke like that in Eastern Europe, the public would be outraged that the police didn't muscle them enough. That the police were too gentle. And if they would also have the opportunity of trying to do this with an airport that's also classified as a strategic military asset, then they would actually be tried by a military tribunal. You know, taken away on the black side. Like, the harsh arm of the law wouldn't fuck around with this. I think it's also due to a little bit of remnants from the Soviet Union that certain things that are of national economic interest shouldn't be fucked with. And so this is why environmentalists that do activism in Romania, they're not trying to be cheeky little shits about it. They're not throwing buckets of paint over priceless art pieces. They're not trying to stop the subway so that people can't get to work. Because they know we actually have a country of laws that would actually apply the laws for them. And they don't fuck around. So usually the activist groups that do exist here, they're trying to do legal battles with the state. And apparently this joke may too come to an end because we have the energy minister coming out and he is now going to seek damages from the NGOs that are constantly blocking the economic strategic process that Romania has. And he is like demanding the public that they actually seek compensations from these NGOs. So, Mr. Sebastian Burdujra has asked NGOs that are doing environmentalist activists and are sabotaging the strategic national interest projects in Romania to be held accountable and have to pay for damages. He claims that these NGO acts are not trying to save the environment, but instead are blocking the development and the security of our nation. He says that there are going to be legal measures that are going to be drafted in order to accelerate the punishment of these NGOs. He says that we currently have 10 hydropower plants that are close to be finished. It's 98% done. And all of them are being blocked by environmentalists. So, like, obviously the man is wondering, like, is there anything that Romania can do in order to develop its energy sector without hurting the jumping spider or the Colorado beetle or, like, whatever the fuck? Right? Like, is there literally nothing that our nation can do in order to decrease the price of gas? And so, you know, the man is thinking. It's like, okay, I understand in the case of one power plant. I understand in the case of two. But 10? Like, is it impossible for Romania to have power plants without damaging the jumping spider, the horned viper, the spotted owl, or anything like that? Like, do we need to stop all human activity just because, like, nothing that we do is okay? Like, you set a fire in a chimney and all of a sudden the activist groups are jumping on your ass? Like, why aren't they jumping on the ass on other nations? Like, for instance, in Russia, like, is the gas that we used to import from Russia, like, was that energy friendly? When you buy something from China, is that not made using energy? Is the energy from China green? Right? So like they're starting to wonder like who are paying these activist groups? Like where do they get their money from? Because then you can see like who has a vested interest in sabotaging, the way that he explains, the blocking of economic development and energetic security of the nation state. And then he gives an example. It's like, look, we're not the only ones doing this. If you look at the United States, there is a American tribunal that has decided that Greenpeace has to pay $660 million for the illegal blocking of a energetic project of strategic interest. And so if the Americans can do it, why can't we? Like, what's stopping us from being like them? And then he further goes on and he explains that from Neptune Deep, which is an investment of over 4 billion euros, to the hydroelectrical dams that we have, another 1.4 billion investment. All of the energetic projects that our country are accomplishing are being systematically attacked in court by the NGOs. And he has to ask the question, is literally every single investment that Romania makes, like literally every single one, the moment that it reaches 98% completion, has like a devastating impact over the environment? There's like a Fukushima over there to the point where they have to step in and stop it. And then he mentions that like Russian gas, when it was imported in Romania, was it that polluted? Was it that toxic? Why weren't the NGOs protesting then? Why haven't they protested like all of the time? When 2 Russian oil ships have ended up spilling their cargo into the Black Sea. Where were they then? And he calls these harassment tactics that are made with bad faith. And we have really good lawyers that are going to start looking into this and start applying punishing on the NGOs. Because this is normal and common sense. Fully agree with the man. I wish that this would also be tackled at the school level. Like, they're the government, right? They're in charge of public schools. I think like people should be a little bit more financial literate and understand that your quality of life, like everything that you pay for, the prices that you buy, are also reflected into the energy industry of your nation. So like if the price of gas goes up, the price of everything goes up. If the price of electricity goes up, the price of everything goes up. And so like this would dissuade young people who also want to buy an iPhone, who also want to buy a tablet, would dissuade them from like constantly doing environmental activism thinking that it doesn't hurt anyone. Like, no, they should very well understand that this activism costs them. And if they're fine with that, then fine, you know, like, go support it. But at least they should be aware that if the price of gas goes up, then everything around them, well, goes up as well. So now when they take a beautiful mademoiselle out in town, instead of paying, let's say, $10 to do it, now they have to pay $20. And you would see that all of a sudden, the desire for environmentalist justice will drop significantly among the young population. Because, like, right now, and I can tell you, because I used to be a young person myself, and I would talk with other young people, like, you genuinely believe that, well, if you support environmentalism, it has absolutely no cost to your life, right? Like, it's just about recycling, and it's about putting the correct package into the correct bin, and maybe people pollute a little bit less and turn off the light when they don't need it, right? Like, that was the mentality that I thought when I was younger, and like certain forests need to be protected. But then you realize that that's not what they're trying to accomplish, that's not what they're actually doing, and certain activist groups may actually have different intentions. Like, they may not be interested in protecting the environment, but they may be interested in, exactly as Mr. Burduja is saying, sabotaging the nation's economy systematically. That's what he said. It's systematic. Right? Like, America has systemic racism, we have systemic energetic sabotage. And so, like, the government should definitely do something. Like, yeah, I as a voter, like, I am interested in the government protecting my well-being and my way of life. And if there are groups that are paid, and then that's another question, like, do they get money from inside the country or do they get money from outside the country? Like, where are they getting money from? Because seeing people protest in the middle of a working day day in and day out, like, begs the question, like, where do they have the money to do that, right? Who's paying them? And so, like, you should investigate and see where are these NGOs getting cash from. Is it from Russia? Is it from China? Is it from the European Union? I don't know. But let's see at least, so we can have a conversation about it. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.